Right now, the battle over Wisconsin's political maps is escalating as Governor Evers vetoes a proposal from the Republican-controlled legislature.
Also, after recent incidents involving robocalls and deep fakes online, how House lawmakers are trying to rein in artificial intelligence.
And later, you may have noticed inclusive playgrounds popping up around the Madison area. We take a look at their increasing popularity and what some parents are saying about them. Welcome to News 3 Now. Well, back to the drawing board. This says Governor Tony Evers rejected new legislative maps lawmakers had sent to him.
So that sets up a showdown in the state Supreme Court. Political reporter Will Keneally joins us to explain. Will?
Well, that's right. When you hear these maps, I think less about where people are voting and how many Republicans versus how many Democrats there are in the state capitol. Now, Democrats have argued Republicans have used these maps to create supermajorities for themselves. And that's why Evers decided to veto these maps today.
I will always fight for fair maps. I will not accept anything less.
With a stroke of his veto pen, Governor Evers sent back the legislative maps Republican lawmakers just last week dropped on his desk. These maps are part of a last-ditch effort by GOP lawmakers to avoid having the maps decided by the liberal-controlled state Supreme Court. With the governor's veto today, however, it is all but certain that the High Court will decide the new maps.
Wisconsinites don't want Republican or Democrat maps because Wisconsin isn't a red or blue state. We're a purple state, and our map should reflect that basic fact. Wisconsinites deserve maps that are fair, responsive, and reflect the will of the people.
This is part of an ongoing lawsuit that is currently before the state Supreme Court over the districts. Late last year, the justices threw out the old Republican-drawn maps. Since then, they've hired outside consultants who will help them choose from maps offered by the governor and legislature, for example.
I was proud to submit maps to the Wisconsin Supreme Court to consider that are responsive to the will of the people, avoid partisan bias, and increase the number of competitive legislative seats.
Now, the other option, the court could draw their own maps with the consultants' help. Now, whatever they choose, though, they will have to work quickly to get these maps in place. Candidates can start circulating nomination papers this April, and they have to know which districts they're running in. Now, this veto was also met, though, with stark criticism from Republicans. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos told us in a statement that the governor's actions today only solidifies his trust in the Wisconsin Supreme Court to give them even more partisan gerrymandered maps for Democrats.
Will, thank you. In Washington, some House lawmakers are calling for broader regulations regarding artificial intelligence. This after X, formerly Twitter, temporarily displayed an error message on searches for some Taylor Swift images after the music icon became the victim of sexually explicit pictures created by AI. The proposed Do Not Disturb Act overhauls federal rules regarding robocalls. The bill would expand the definition of a robocall to include any call or text that uses AI or a pre-recorded message. Violators who use AI to impersonate someone in a robocall could face higher fines, and even authorized robocalls would have to disclose any use of artificial technology.
It's going to take the Congress, it's going to take our law enforcement agencies, and it is going to take the private sector to build these safeguards, but then to make sure that they're enforced and that we protect people.
The Do Not Disturb Act would additionally force phone providers to offer free robocall blocking services to consumers. It would also require the Federal Communications Commission to maintain a public list of the top 100 illegal robocall campaigns. According to estimates by YouMail, a robocall blocking service, around 55 billion robocalls were placed in the U.S. last year.
Let's get a check on the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Well, pretty comfortable out here. We've got cloudy skies, but we don't have much in the way of fog, and temperatures are on the mild side. As we look at the time lapse for the WISC-TV Skycam, you can see mostly cloudy skies all day today, but very little in the way of fog. And there was just a little bit of drizzle late morning, and that's pretty much been about it. On Doppler track, not seeing any precipitation across Wisconsin, and I don't expect to for a while. You can see visibility is now at or above 10 miles for all the major reporting stations in southern Wisconsin. Not looking for much in the way of fog tonight. Low temperatures this morning started out mild. Madison 35. Most areas were in the middle 30s. High temperatures today, we got up to 40. Most areas between about 35 and 40. So not much of a temperature range. And right now we're still in the middle 30s here in Madison, and as well as most of southern Wisconsin. Here in Dane County, right now 36 Madison, 37 in Middleton, and 36 degrees in Deerfield. Otherwise, no fog here, but otherwise just mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures around 35 degrees. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that does include more 40s as we head through the rest of the week.
Gary, thank you. Now to a disturbing story out of Sussex in Waukesha County, where a babysitter is now behind bars accused of killing a family's chihuahua. According to court documents, Keely Sonneman was watching the family's 4-year-old daughter back on January 25th. When the parents got home, the dog was nowhere to be found. That's until the family's 11-year-old daughter eventually found the dog dead under a pile of blankets, pillows, and stuffed animals. According to the criminal complaint, the chihuahua had stab wounds and a plastic bag over its head.
The allegations in this complaint are correct. We have an act of violence that was perpetrated perhaps in the presence of a 4-year-old child.
Sonneman told investigators she doesn't remember doing anything to the dog, but said there was, quote, a lot of drama going on. A cash bail of $15,000 was set for Sonneman.
To an update on a deadly crash that happened on the Beltline over the weekend. Madison police have issued an arrest warrant for a man in connection with this incident. Jules Togna Tamman of Madison is charged with hit and run involving death. The charges stem from a crash along the Beltline near Fish Hatchery Road that killed 23-year-old Jitasia Graham. Police have tried to reach Togna Tamman multiple times, but it is believed he may have fled the Madison area. Anyone with information on Togna Tamman's whereabouts is urged to contact Madison police.
In Vernon County, several people are in serious condition after a truck versus buggy crash. According to law enforcement, happened about 9 p.m. on Colash Road near County C in Hillsborough. 5 people in that buggy suffered serious injuries. 3 were taken to Gunderson and Hillsborough, and 2 more were taken to Richland Hospital, and 2 patients were later transferred to UW Children's Hospital in Madison. Authorities arrested the truck's driver for OWI causing injury. Well, you may have started noticing more and more cities and schools have inclusive playgrounds now for children with disabilities.
And it's all for a good reason. According to data from the U.S. Department of Education, 15% of Wisconsin children have a disability. Our Kyle Pozorski joins us live to tell us how Madison's playgrounds are beginning to include everyone, no matter their physical limitations. Kyle?
Good evening. Like you said with that data, kids with disabilities are sometimes forgotten, but they do add up. I'm here at a park on the west side, which had some inclusive equipment in place last year, and it's a part of a trend we've been tracking all throughout the Madison area.
The smiles are universal, just like playing at a park.
Pamela Hankey is the parent of a child with a disability, currently working for Disability Rights Wisconsin. In an interview with me over Zoom, she explains why creating more inclusive parks and playgrounds is critical for kids just like hers.
I think having a place that you can actually bring, any child to, and that they can have fun and play is so vitally important.
And she's not alone in her feelings for accessible playgrounds and parks. The Madison Metropolitan School District did the same, installing 48 new accessible structures.
Inclusive playground design is just sort of the standard now.
Alyssa Brown, an architectural assistant for the district, says the push is to create spaces where all are welcomed.
It's not about having like one playground in the city that's accessible for a certain group of needs. Like you want to have everyone playing together.
Alyssa, along with Nick Gurl, worked closely on the district's project over the past year. A rewarding process, Nick says, is the high mark of his career.
It's not something when you think of school, you don't think of going out to recess as like a big part of their day. But if, a kid's having a bad day and they can go to the playground and it turns their day around because we put in a really nice structure that they can play with all their friends, it makes me feel really good.
These types of projects are being seen as a sort of success story. More are also on the way. The Madison Parks Division tells me they are hoping to continue building more with another plan for next year. Reporting in Madison, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, why Philips is halting sales on some of their CPAP machines.
Plus, dozens of kids are in need of mentors for the organization Big Brothers Big Sisters. We'll tell you how you can help.
Watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
A truck crash can be life-changing. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. We have a powerful team with the knowledge, resources, and history of results you'll need. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hy-Vee hot deals are burning hot. Green or black seedless grapes, just $1.99 a pound. Lots of Matza pizza, $4.99. And Frito-Lay party-sized snacks, just $3.99 each when you buy 3. Only at Hy-Vee.
Save big money on flooring from Menards. Get the floor of your dreams with our huge selection of flooring. Check out soft and luxurious carpet, durable laminate flooring that will stand up to life's everyday demands, and waterproof vinyl plank that offers the look of real wood without the worry. Mohawk Perfect Seal Statements laminate flooring is just $329 per square foot. Or choose Mohawk Adrift Carpet for $159 a square foot now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying...
He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Save every day with Hy-Vee Perks prices. Chiquita bananas, Hy-Vee Perks price 39 cents a pound. Hy-Vee butter, Hy-Vee Perks price $2.98. And Campbell's soup, Hy-Vee Perks price only $1. Sign up for Hy-Vee Perks today.
Start your new day with the News 3 Now This Morning team, bringing you local breaking news, exploring all that makes our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now This Morning, weekdays. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Philips is halting sales of its CPAP breathing machines as part of a settlement with the FDA. The company recalled upwards of 1 million breathing machines last year amid reports they were blowing gas and foam into users' airways. The final amount of the settlement will depend partially on the number of claims filed. It needs to get federal court approval first. Under the settlement, the company must continue servicing CPAP machines already in use.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County is launching a new campaign as they look for new mentors. The organization is looking to find big brothers and sisters for about 200 students, most of them being young boys who need support. Caleb Frostman is a volunteer for the organization. He says it's been wonderful to watch his mentee Edward grow over the past 4.5 years.
Sometimes it's just providing an ear. I don't always have the perfect wisdom to share, but being there to listen and to just be present and be consistent for a young person going through adolescence, I think is really important.
A campaign kickoff event is scheduled for tomorrow evening at Lake Louie Brewing. Our partners at Madison Magazine have more information on our website about how you can sign up to be a mentor.
This winter, News 3 Now is proud to partner with Vortex Optics to highlight area veterans doing good for their fellow service members. It's called Spirit of Service, and we're asking for your help finding an area veteran who is making a difference. And here's how you can help choose the next Spirit of Service winner. First, head to channel3000.com, find this story on our website, then send in the name of a veteran who is making a difference in your community. Share their story with us. Then after 3 weeks, a board of veterans will start going through all those nominations. They'll narrow it down to 5 finalists, and then viewers will then get a chance to vote for one of the 5 finalists. The winner will be announced in March. After the break, frozen assets is still a go despite the mild temperatures, what the Clean Lakes Alliance will have to offer at this year's event.
Plus, the Janesville Fire Department preparing for potential emergencies out on the ice. What they say you can do to stay safe.
And how much sun can we expect the rest of this week? Your complete forecast when we come back.
It's the annual RV show and sale you don't want to miss at Interstate RV, February 2nd through the 4th. Great RV show pricing just up the road. Highway 51, Poinet.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy
words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This new year is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The Madison Camper and RV Show and Sale is back. Enjoy the great outdoors at the Alliant Energy Center Friday through Sunday, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Want to know what the weather is like right now where you live? Download the First Warn Weather app and I'll give you an hour-by-hour forecast. The First Warn Weather app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
With the ever-changing temperatures, many of us want to get our winter activities in as soon as possible. But in the interest of safety, our Maddie Heimsch followed along with one fire department as they train for ice and water rescues.
According to the Department of Natural Resources, no ice is 100% safe. That's why the Janesville Fire Department trains their teams in ice rescue and why they ask you to be cautious on the ice.
We obviously have a lot of lakes and bodies of water around this area, and it's very common for whether it be people or pets often too. They'll go down in the ice, and we often get called to assist them, and that call can come at any time.
The department does rescue training once a year to stay up to date with best practices. They told me they've seen people, pets, and wild animals venture out a little too far and fall through.
You may have thick, good ice in one spot, travel a few more feet, and it'd be much thinner. So you just have to be really careful about that.
I asked the firemen what qualities make safe ice.
If it's real thick and real clear, it's going to be the safest. And anytime it's gray or brown and turns slushy looking, that's really going to be sketchy ice.
If you do fall in, experts advise trying to lift yourself back up by placing your forearms on the edge of the hole and kicking your legs. Once you're back on the surface, stay laying down and roll away from the hole. Standing up will increase your chances of falling back in. If you see someone else fall in, call 911 for assistance.
The safest is just to stay off the ice. Now, we know that's not realistic. People want to go out and have fun. So wear a life jacket, wear flotation, have a buddy system, and then just pay attention to the quality of the ice.
Captain Josh Eckers says with temperatures fluctuating, ice safety is more important than ever. Reporting in Janesville, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Well, the ice continues to melt off. A check of your First Warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Yeah, the ice continues to melt, and so does the snow. We still have a decent amount on the ground. These darker areas show between 9 and 12 inches of snow on the ground, and the rest of this is pretty much about 6 inches. But that's down about 6 inches since we had that cold spell. And notice to the north and west, there are parts of Minnesota into far western Wisconsin with very little snow on the ground. And as we take a look at Doppler track, very little precipitation other than a few flurries up by Lake Superior, and I don't expect that to change over the next week or so. In fact, 3 things you need to know. It'll be dry through next Wednesday, so no snow or rain in the forecast. It'll also be mild through at least Friday of next week and probably the next weekend as well. Maybe a little cooler at that point, but temperatures will still be above normal. And then we'll see some showers Thursday afternoon and Friday of next week, maybe mixing a little snow by Friday night of next week. But the overall storm track, we're getting back into that El Nino weather pattern. We have a strong jet stream across the Pacific Ocean, so it's driving these big storm systems up into the Gulf of Alaska and eventually into Alaska. We did a story last hour about how Anchorage, Alaska has already surpassed 100 inches of snow, earliest in the season in their history. The main part of the jet stream is just north of the Hawaiian Islands, but as that jet stream approaches North America, notice how it splits. The southern branch, the subtropical jet stream that carries all the moisture, stays down to the south. So that's what's going to keep us dry. The polar jet stream, which has the cold air north of it, goes up around Seattle, stays into southern Canada, so that keeps us mild. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Notice this big bulge in the jet stream here. That's a lot of warm air aloft that will eventually work its way eastward and cause our temperatures to warm up. So all the snow and the colder air is starting to shift to the east coast, and even that will move off the east coast with time. Even though our upper level winds are from the north, they're basically westerly winds that just kind of curl around to the north. But with time, we're going to see that milder Pacific air head in our direction. Right now, high pressure is located just to the west of us. Winds here are pretty light, but notice there's a warm front where winds become more southwesterly, and that's what we'll see for tomorrow. Our winds will start to come in from the southwest, even though right now they're kind of light from the north. But temperatures are mild. They're in the mid to upper 30s through most of the Midwest. Madison right now 36, Rhinelander 32. You don't see any cold air anywhere on this map. And as we look at future track, lots of clouds, but notice that break in the cloud cover coming in our direction. Clouds will thin out a little bit during the day tomorrow, so we'll see some sunshine. But overall, we're looking at a mild forecast for about the next 10 days. Planning your night, temperatures middle 30s by 10 p.m. By midnight, they're in the lower 30s. Not looking for any precipitation, not looking for any fog. And here comes that clearing from the west. We'll have to see how much of that holds together. Right now, I think the clouds that we'll see by morning will be very high-level clouds. So temperatures will be down to around 30 degrees. Shouldn't affect temperatures too much. Planning your night across Dane County, 30 for the low in Fitchburg, 31 in Belleville, 31 for Mount Horeb. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, Camp Douglas drops to 31, so does Prairie du Chien, and 30 for the overnight low temperature in Watertown. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a little milder, high temperature at 41. Although today we did make it up to 40 degrees in our first warned 7 to 10 day forecast. Highs lower 40s through Friday, a little more cloud cover from Thursday afternoon through Friday. Then over the weekend, highs middle 40s, a couple degree drop in temperatures, but still well above normal for early next week. And then upper 40s with some rain shower chances from Thursday afternoon into Friday of next week.
Well, even with the above average temperatures right now, Clean Lakes Alliance says frozen assets is still a go this week. The family-friendly festival at the Edgewater helps connect the community with the lake through free winter activities. They've had to adapt to the milder weather this year with less activities on Lake Mendota, but festival goers can still see skydiving, figure skating, dance, science, and large show kite demonstrations. Clean Lakes Alliance hopes community members can interact with frozen assets and appreciate their importance even in the middle of the winter.
Edgewater is a great way to enter Lake Mendota and enjoy the lake. And really, when the lakes are frozen, and actually all year long, they are our frozen assets. They are what makes this community so special, and they're a huge economic driver.
Since 2012, Frozen Assets has raised more than $1.2 million for lake improvement projects, educational programs, and water quality monitoring. You can learn more about this week's schedule by clicking the link to this story on the Channel 3000 mobile app.
And coming up in sports, it's Border Battle Week on the ice for the Wisconsin men's hockey team. What Mike Hastings thinks of his neighbors to the north. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
News 3 Now and Vortex presents Spirit of Service, honoring those who've made a real difference in our community.
Do you know a veteran whose actions have been a positive force in the area? If so, nominate them for the Spirit of Service Award.
Log on to channel3000.com, nominate a veteran, and tell us why they're a pillar in our community. A winner will be selected on March 11th.
Help us celebrate our hometown heroes.
The Spirit of Service Award, presented by Vortex.
Do you feel stuck in a cold and drafty home? Well, there's a better solution than just turning up the heat. Because heating your home is by far the most expensive part of your energy bills. At USA Insulation, we fix cold homes. Most houses are built with builder's grade insulation. So when we fill your walls with our high efficiency foam, your house stays warm without turning up the heat, which saves you a lot of money. And right now, we can insulate your home for as little as $99 per month.
USA Insulation.
The monsters of destruction are coming, and coming with a vengeance. Redneck Rampage against the Grain, War Wizard, Double Trouble, and the Veteran are ready to put on one heck of a show. Plus, Freestyle Motocross is back. X-Games rider Willie Elam and friends with action you don't want to miss. Day and night shows ready to blow your mind. Every ticket is a pit pass. Come early to meet the drivers. Take a ride in a real monster truck. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Alliant Energy Center February 3rd and 4th. Get your tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
no telling what the next Wisconsin Lottery scratch game will bring. It's Miss Pac-Man, the new $3 instant scratch game based on the classic arcade game. Scratch each start position in the grid and follow the directions of the symbols. If your path runs into a bonus symbol or ends at a prize spot, you could win up to $30,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
A truck crash can be life-changing. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. We have a powerful team with the knowledge, resources, and history of results you'll need. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Saying the Kohl Center is the place to be this weekend is a huge understatement. Not only is the Wisconsin men's hockey team renewing their rivalry with Minnesota, but it will be a top 10 showdown in Madison. The first meeting went the way of the Badgers to the tune of a sweep of then the #1 team in the nation. And when it comes to the border battle, there's only one word to describe it.
It's passion. You know, and I don't care if you're talking hockey, football, basketball, whatever it ends up being. They're neighbors, and sometimes you get along with your neighbors, and sometimes you don't. So it's a very important weekend, not only because of who we're playing, but when we're playing them this season.
It's been a good month for Casey O'Brien, and it just got a little better. The Wisconsin senior was named the WCHA's Forward of the Month this afternoon. O'Brien tallied 17 points in 8 games in January, and in the process became the 15th Badger in program history to record 150 points in a career. Everyone in the country has Sunday's showdown with Purdue circled on their calendar. But Wisconsin has another challenge to attend to first, a road trip to Nebraska where the Badgers will look to try to do something no other Big Ten team has done, win in Lincoln. The Huskers haven't lost at home in conference play and are 13-1 there this season.
Most teams are a little different at home, though. You know, I think maybe they are astronomically, but most teams, if you look at them, they have a tendency to play a little better at home, more comfortable, you know, environment, energy from the crowd, etc. So I don't think that, you know, there's anything schematically that's different. I think it's just, you know, they're a very confident group at home.
Speaking of Wisconsin hoops, don't forget to check out this week's episode of Wisconsin Huddle. Tyler Wall stops by the show to talk about being #6 in the country, winning in his home state of Minnesota, and much more. Show starts at 6:30. Right here on News 3 Now. And Jake Ferguson is heading to the Pro Bowl. The former Badger got the nod to replace George Kittle, who will be playing in the Super Bowl. Ferguson had a breakout year in his second season in Dallas, where he caught 71 passes for 761 yards and 5 touchdowns. Kenny Clark also was added to the Pro Bowl. He's the only Packer represented in this year's game. Did you know that Jake Ferguson is Barry Alvarez's grandson?
I heard that a little bit on. He had 3 touchdowns against them. He was the only guy that showed up for the Cowboys that day.
Only bright spot for them.
He's really become quite the player. Congrats to him. Let's go to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Well, skies are mostly cloudy, but we're not seeing much in the way of fog around here. Doppler track, no precipitation. Looks like we're going to stay dry probably through the middle of next week. Current temperatures, middle to upper 30s. Madison right now 36, Janesville 37. Just about everybody 36 or 37. Dayton County 36, Verona 36 in McFarland, and 36 degrees in Wanakee. Otherwise, look for cloudy skies this evening. Temperatures holding steady around 35.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.